The PWT Awards 2023. Oh, yeah. The PWT Awards 2023, folks. Pro Wrestle Times Awards 2023. It's our first year active, but I just figured, fuck it, man. I want to do some awards, so I set up this whole thing here. We got it going. I guess we got votes through Patreon. We got votes through Twitter, through YouTube, and this was a clusterfuck. I'm not even going to lie. This shit was... I don't know. I'm going to figure out how to do this better next year. Maybe I will even get some physical awards that I will DM these wrestlers or try and mail them out, or, you know, figure out how to get them to them or keep them and have them there for them to claim or whatever. But these are the PWT Awards. And of course, the PWT Awards are based on, you guys know what I feel is good wrestling, and what I feel it's about a combination of things: the selling, the work, the business, the kayfabe. A lot of these things factor in, and we're just going to waste no time, and we're going to talk about the PWT Awards, and then I'll talk about the Iron Claw movie. I was supposed to do that, but I forgot, but it's all good. So let me look here. Where are we going to start? I don't even know where to start, guys. We will start at, I guess, the top of the list. We will do our WWE Wrestler Men of the Year, the WWE Wrestler of the Year as voted by you guys, as nominated by moi. Where are we? I'm trying to pull up the Twitter one. So with 75% of the votes on Twitter, X, and with an astounding 49% of the votes on YouTube. Drum roll, please, ladies and gentlemen. The WWE Male Wrestler of the Year is Gunther. Gunther gets the Male Wrestler of the Year in WWE. What can we say? The longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. He beat out Roman Reigns. Not surprising. He's made big money matches out of doing shit with Chad Gable and The Miz, and he continues to reign, and he's brought prestige back to that title, and he calls it the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship against Sports-Based, and we know that Ludwig Kaiser and these people are about to pop off as well, and so shout out Gunther. You deserve it. You deserve it like no other. Guys, the AEW Male Wrestler of the Year, which is fucking hilarious, guys. We will give a drum roll. The AEW Male Wrestler of the Year is, with 42.9% of the votes on X, was Samoa Joe. However, not as many votes were cast. On YouTube, 175 votes were cast, where Samoa Joe only got 5%, and CM Punk got 51% of the votes. So, ladies and gentlemen, CM Punk, who is not even in fucking AEW, gets AEW Wrestler of the Year award. CM Punk, and he is the Wrestler of the Year 2023 for AEW. He had the best year of any wrestler there, the most compelling shit. He worked with Joe, he did Wembley, he knocked out the Bosses, knocked out Jack Perry, What else can you fucking say? Then he showed up in WWE. He was the top merch seller of both companies at the same time. Who can ever say that they've done that? Rick Rude may have showed up on both shows on the same night, folks, but CM Punk sold the most shirts on the same goddamn night. So CM Punk, man, he deserves it. He deserved to win one of these awards. So he's the AEW Male Wrestler of the Year. And shout out Joe. Shout out Joe. He just didn't get on X. It was like nobody voted. On YouTube, it was like we had like almost 200 votes rang in, plus our patrons. Shout out the patrons. You already know who you are. Okay, so moving along, the other. So independent, all around the world, the other Wrestler of the Year in the male category, our Blue League. Just kidding. So on X was 75% of the votes. And on YouTube with 41% of the votes. And Will Ospreay was at 46% of the votes, but Matt Cardona edged him out because of the X votes, because Ospreay got no votes on X. Cardona got 75% of them. Ospreay got 46% of the votes, but Cardona got 41% of the votes. It's Matt Cardona, ladies and gentlemen, the Wrestler of the Year. Matt Cardona, the indie god, the deathmatch god. He's looking like fucking Ultimo Dragon in his pictures, holding 15 fucking title belts. Matt Cardona's the man. What he's done with Steph DeLander all over the world, making a name, blowing up the indies. Indie promoters ain't got no fucking water for their talent. Dummies, yeah.
Dummy, yeah.
And he's blowing it up, man. He's the best self-promoter. He's got the best merch, all of that stuff. I highly encourage everyone to go check out his interview on Chris Van Vlie's channel. We're going to move along. We're going to keep it rolling. What order do we do? We'll do the ladies next. So, the Pro Wrestle Times 2023 Women's WWE Wrestler of the Year. This was a fucking blowout by every stretch of the word. Of the terminology, with 71% of the votes on X and with 85% of the votes on YouTube, guys. It's the one, the only. We'll get I don't know if we drum rolled Punk, but Rhea Ripley, ladies and gentlemen. The best women's wrestler all around on planet Earth, bar none, at this current period of time, possibly ever, as far as look, it factor, selling, knowing when not to sell certain shit, big body moves, beat dudes, the first ever women's world champion, that new title. Like you could argue not even in her prime yet. I think she's like 27 or 28. So when she's like 30, she's going to be like her psychology. Think about that. That's what's crazy about some of these people. You know, like think about what she's going to do in 10 years or 20 years when she's agenting people back, training NXT come-ups and stuff, you know? Unbelievable. Rhea Ripley, nobody deserves that title. For, in all honesty, like if it was just a blanket woman wrestler of the year, it would be Rhea Ripley. It's unquestionable. So shout out Rhea Ripley for winning our award that is non-existent, I guess. One day I'll make little things out of macaroni noodles, little necklaces, and we'll ship them out. So moving along, the AEW Women's Wrestler of the Year, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I felt like this one was a shoo-in. So with 57% of the votes on X and with 70% of the votes on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, Timeless Toni Storm. She wins. Timeless Toni Storm. We're talking former WWE Women's World Champion. We're talking multiple time. Or was she a WWE champ? She was an NXT champ. Whatever. Multiple time AEW Women's Champion. Timeless Toni Storm. Her whole Marilyn Monroe, Audrey Hepburn combination, damsel in distress, tits up, chin out, and watch out for the shoe. Like that whole this whole black and white. Here's the script and all that Luther the butler and we were up all night like fucking like basically saying we're doing drugs and drinking and it's the fifth the Judy Garland's fucking expose lifestyle on how shit was in Hollywood back then. This whole character development, it's all great and you guys know that. And yeah, I don't know, we've said it before, you look at the ratings and Tony Storm dancing in black and white doing silly shit is more compelling TV than their world title picture half the time. So Tony Storm deserves that award. The PWT Awards, the award for other, so indie, Japan, blah, blah, blah. You guys know it. The other wrestler of the year. I should have said the other nominees, you know. I feel that's a little disrespectful that I didn't say who the other nominees here were, pardon me, but fuck it. So on X, we had a three-way tie, literally 33 and a third % of people voted for Trinity, Mickie James, and Steph DeLander. Okay. Over on YouTube, though, almost half of the votes, 47% of the votes went to none other than Impact's own Trinity Fatu. Trinity. And I'm sorry, she brings a super. I know some people are, and I really wanted Steph DeLander to win this. I feel like she's a breakout star, but it's just that she's mostly a heater. Steph DeLander's on the outside of the ring more than she's in it, and she is. One day she will be like one of the biggest stars in this business. As of now, though, Trinity is currently one of the biggest stars in this professional wrestling women's business, whether you like it or not. And she'll be back in WWE one day. I think after this Knockouts title run, I think she'll run with that belt. But she's going to put the division on her back, and she has been. And her match, she gets it, and she knows how to be the ultimate baby face. And I can't remember if she's really been heel in WWE, but to me, she's like a Ricky Dragon. You just keep her face the whole time. And she gets it. She has the look. She looks like a superstar. She adds validity. She's a former women's champion. I don't know, man. She's good for the business. She's good for Impact Wrestling. She deserves this. Moving along, guys. Moving along. We have like one more chunk of category here. The WWE Tag Team of the Year. Damn, this was a good this is a good poll, man. You know, this is one where this was tough. So people had a hard time hashing this out. So over on X, the Judgment Day, Damian Priest and Finn Balor received 45% of the votes, with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn receiving 36% of the votes, right? Over on YouTube, we had the Judgment Day, Damian Priest and Finn Balor receiving 33% of the votes, with the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, receiving 36% of the votes, and then Zayn and Owens getting 22% of the votes. So, you guys, I'm no mathematician, but overall, with 33% of the votes over on YouTube and with 45.5% of the votes over on X, the Judgment Day, Damian Priest and Finn Balor win the PWT. I didn't give a drum roll. We'll give it to him with the applause. And the dummy, yeah.
Dummy, yeah.
The Judgment Day, man, Balor and Priest, they win the PWT award for Tag Team of the Year. And what can you say? Multiple time winners of the titles. If I'm not mistaken, didn't they knock off the Usos? And then plus they knocked off Cody and Jay. Let's look at the list here, right? It's like they beat all of the, or no, pardon me. Owens and Zayn beat the Usos, and then the Judgment Day beat Owens and Zayn, and then the Judgment Day beat Jay and Cody. So they pretty much, they're the guys, right? It just makes MMA math, as they call it, pro wrestling math or whatever. as they call it. So shout them out, man. They deserve it. Judgment Day's white hot too, you know. And I think Jey Uso was the only person nominated twice in the same category as well. So shout him out. Moving along, the AEW. The AEW Tag Team of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen. Let me pull it up on both of these. So this was a wash. This one received both 69% of the votes on X and, of course, 69% of the votes as well on YouTube. There's only one answer. Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, FTR. Congratulations to these guys. Now, what can you really say about them? They are probably the best tag team on planet Earth. And they had that crazy run last year with the Briscoes, and then they kicked off this year with a crazy run of matches. We know that the Bucks sabotaged what could have been, what would have been, what should have been. But, I mean, they still managed, and even when they were like six-manning with Punk and doing that whole thing, they were tremendous. And yeah, you know, they're 7-star FTR. They've won the NXT tag titles, the ROH tag titles, the New Japan tag titles, the WWE tag titles, the Raw ones, the SmackDown ones, the NXT, the AEW. You know, they've won it all. And I think I would love to see them win the NWA tag titles. Just fucking win them and drop them and then go back to WWE once your contracts is up. Yeah, so shout out FTR for winning that award. You know how much I love these guys. So moving along to our final award of the year, the other independent New Japan Deathmatch, blah, 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 the other tag team of the year. Let's get YouTube pulled up here. With 66% of the votes on YouTube and with 57% of the votes on X. This was a fucking wash. The Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin completely washed everyone. What can we say about them? I mean, not only did they hold the tag team titles at the start of the year and have great, compelling tag team matches with folk, and they continue to have great tag team matches with the roster there. And, like, you know, they're doing Josh Alexander and fucking Zack Sabre Jr. and shit, right? So they're doing all kinds of stuff. But Alex Shelley is also the world champion, the Impact World Champion, and Sabin is the X Division champion, and they're also doing shit in the tag team division. So they love gold, and they get more gold by earning themselves the Pro Wrestle Times 2023 other tag team of the year, man. So that was our stuff of the year.